Well, hey everybody, this is Daniel. A lot of time when I'm on live streams on other folks' channel, I talk about I'm watching deer coming out in the field. Well, it's getting near that time. So if this is even going live, we'll find out. Let me get my laptop just to make sure this thing is working because this is the first time I've tried it with the phone because I can zoom in with my phone, and I can't do it with a laptop. Tell me to rotate my device. I don't want to rotate my device. Hmm. Getting my laptop up just in case there looks like there's three people out there. Hello everybody. I can't see any comments yet, but I'm getting my laptop up here on the side. This is what I do in the evenings. I sit here and I watch for see what kind of animals come on out of the woods. Let's see here. I'll be responding to comments here soon, folks. Goats are kind of chilling out. All right. Okay, the laptop is now up. Get this junk out of the way. Guess I had to get some WD-40 out on my door last night. Everybody was telling me how noisy I was. All right, I've almost got the laptop ready. Hopefully we'll have some deer coming out soon. Let's get going here. Boy, when you don't turn a laptop on for a while, you got all kinds of notifications. And this is what the sunset looks like right now. Ooh, bright light. Okay. Oh, it's telling me to rotate this stupid thing, man. All right. I mean, I got to go in this other stupid position. Wow, this is like a real train wreck. It's been a long time since I've gone live. All right, let me go through, see all's here. I got the sun in my eyes. I can't see nothing. Wow. Oh, C103. Hello, Wes. Hello, and Wes. RG Homestead. Hi. Hey, Adenair. Hello. And Tiny Female Shooter. Hello. PC Bullet Empire. Yep, we're on the deer lookout. I gotta turn the volume off on my laptop. I'll probably start getting some echo. I gotta fix this thing. I hate it when people do this. I always harass them when they rotate it. Let's see. Oh, nope. Hi. So if anybody wants to buy a 45, I think old tiny female shooter. Yes, Rick, it's one bald head. Yeah, she's going to be selling one here, or her husband is. Let's see if I can get this silly thing to go correctly so I can put you in a... I hope I just didn't break this thing. How's it showing up? Man, this is stupid. I hate new phones. Oh, I did think I just broke my stand. Okay. Yep, it went sideways. I was hoping I'd be able to see better by putting my laptop one way and it didn't work. Okay. Hi, Desert Pioneer. Hello. Yeah, this is probably going to be like the Boris live chat you've ever seen. But if something walks out that I seen yesterday afternoon, anybody that deer hunts will appreciate it. And I'm not talking about young bucks or young does. Last fall, I'll show you. I was sitting here on the porch and I watched some deer on the other side of the gas well, about 50 yards into the woods. And I threw my camouflage on, that camouflage I won off of Rick. And I walked down to the edge right there. And then I got on my belly and side and I crawled every time the deer would lay down or turn their heads all the way past that gas well over to the edge of the woods. And I got within 30 yards of a buck. And there was a doe, put it this way, a doe that was just on the edge of the brush stood up right in front of me. I mean, I was like 5 feet from her. And she still didn't take off. But I got up to my knees and got the bow up, but I couldn't get it drawn back because, I'm going to shut up because there's a deer. Come on, you stupid thing. Let's get you on it. Right there. You all see that? Oh. Okay, well, that's the first one. I think that's a young doe. They're not going to like that stupid cigarette. Oh, I'm not going to shoot it. It's not hunting season. This is a part of the season where I just get to sit here in the evening and watch the deer come out. Yeah, that's a 1.5 year old doe, one of last year's fawns. About a month ago, I was watching 2 young fawns running around here. Launch a projectile. Wes, come on, man. I still got last year's deer canned and some still in the freezer. I got 2 deer last year and we eat probably 3 meals a week using that meat. And that'll get me all through summer. Oh, get back in here. Come on. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? There you are. But yes, but that buck that I was after last year, I was telling you where I stalked up to it. I had my binoculars and everything. I was able to see every little curve. I counted 16 real points. Yeah, one Bambi out there, gorillas and guns. Hello. Firearms 101. Hey, let me see who all's. Wow, there's 11 of you here on the porch with me. That's cool. Well, an update on my wife. Any of you that don't know, she just had one knee replaced. And Right now, she's back in bed, trying to keep her as comfortable as possible. She's doing her physical therapy. She just had this surgery done Tuesday. This is Monday or Tuesday. If this is Wednesday, she had it done Monday. The block they put on her leg, as far as blocking pain, that wore off yesterday at about noon. And oh, yeah, she felt it then. But today she's doing better, but she's trying to do too much too fast. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, that's the first. She's going to end up having to get both knees done. And I just got some good word from my VA back pain specialist. But look like I might be getting a spinal cord stimulator. I described the issues that I've been having, and he let me know that, yeah, there is a procedure as far as gaining strength. See, my back pain, it's not debilitating, but when you lose all your strength and feeling in your legs and you start stumbling and dropping stuff, it's really not cool. But he said the spinal cord stimulator should be taking care of it. I guess now it's more of a common procedure, but I'm lucky they do it at this VA that I go to. It's not done at all of them. I guess they got to go through all kinds of special stuff and get qualified first, which is a good thing. Never be the first person for a medic or a doctor to cut on. I've been down that road. Don't work out good. Oh, 101. Okay, good night, man. I hope you got lots of work here to do. We're just waiting to see if this little buck comes or that little doe comes out from behind that tree. And I just thought I'd play with this to see if I get some kind of a live stream going. Curious Yellow Cuda. Hey, I got to go over here. I got to check something out. I haven't been getting any notifications from you. What? Hey, Yellow Cuda, make a comment on one of my videos because I want to see if I got subscribed from you or not. Not on this one, but like one of the other ones. Oh, you haven't posted. Okay, that explains why. All right. Yeah, every once in a while I run into something where I've been unsubscribed. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have had cases of that. Of course, I don't know why anybody wants to subscribe to me. No deer are coming out. I'm running it this way because I think this new phone is stupid. Hey, Rick, good night, man. You be careful out there. Don't overtask all your guys that work with you. Oh, dinner time. Yeah, you always getting. Were you having barbecue tonight, or are you having Mexican? He's a firefighter near where my first duty station was. Because I'm cool. That's not what my kids say. Other kids think so. Where'd my coffee go? Yeah, I've been taking some video of the deer coming out here. Wait a minute, Tiny Female Shooter, if you went and shut down your channel and got back, how's come I'm still subbed to you and didn't have to resubscribe? If none of you folks know her, she enjoys the pistol life and some rifle action with the ARs. I remember when there was, oh dear, yeah. Pops, we had a deer in here earlier. Right now it's behind that tree. And I'm just waiting. Usually we'll get 3 of them out here before it gets dark. Okay. And tiny female shooter, as far as me remembering anything, I don't. I don't remember nothing anymore. I got the very bad memory now. And I do not own any skinny jeans there, Sir Pops. Picking on me about skinny jeans. Man, you're wearing that. You know that saying, there's some people that go to Walmart that shouldn't wear spandex? You lost all that weight, so I guess that you're not in that qualification anymore. It's okay. You can get away with it. You can pull it off. RG, am I going to have to make you a moderator? I don't even have any moderators. The only jeans I own are Wranglers. Yeah, it is a good image, but I just can't get the thing to go rotate the other way. When I do it that way, it shows up really stupid in the stream. I hate cell phones. Lakeview, hello. But I've got a one of those little cameras you stick on your hat. Scotsman got it for me last year. I did a couple videos with that. I've got to get back into practice with that. Get some new editing equipment again so I can put stuff together, because when I go out in the woods hunting, that video thing, it's only takes 2 minutes of video, and then it'll stop and start a whole new video, and I got to be able to splice this stuff together again. Yes, Pops, it is on a tripod. I got to go check out my local gun dealer, because they have been really stocked good, but they've put out a notice here this last week that they're limiting people to 2 boxes per caliber for ammunition. I mean, I've stocked up on my primers and powder, and I'm currently casting my 9mm, and I'm trying really hard to get a 30 caliber bullet that I can load up in my 300 Blackout. I've got to reduce the crimp a little bit and reduce the powder load because I'm getting some keyholing. But trust me, I've got plenty of regular ammo that I can reload for it, and enough that's already loaded. I had like 4 groundhogs right down there. 3 of them were out at once. I got 2 of them. But tonight, as far as my groundhog shooting count goes, I've got 2 out of 3. I'm surprised the deer aren't out here yet. Just had that one, and he went in. Because he's usually the first one out, or that girl, that doe, she's the first one out. And then a young buck I've been seeing coming out while it's still daylight. And it usually comes out right behind that tree over there, because there's a big old spring right there. So they go right behind that tree and they drink. then they'll just come right out, right there, and just start munching away. But that's my old hay field. Right now, it is planted in corn, and they just sprayed it today, so the hay is going to all die, and the corn that is in there is actually over a foot high right now. So I got no doubt that the hunting back there in that woods is going to be really, really good this fall. And get that spinal cord stimulator in and start working the strength back in my legs. So it doesn't take me until 10 o'clock in the morning to start being mobile anymore. And if this stuff, I talked to the doctor, and he said this here should definitely help me get the strength back and get me a whole lot more active. Because I tell you what, I've been retired too long. Retirement sucks. I'm on my third or fourth time retiring, and trust me, I only had one retirement by choice, and that was when I retired from the military. Tom, we had deer out here just about 5 minutes after we started the chat. Did the deer talk to me? I know the sounds they make out in the woods, the location bleats. When the ruts, I tell you what, when the late September, early November, when the rut gets on, there is all kinds of vocalization out there. Yeah, I mean, you can tell when, if it's a fawn bleeding, if it's a doe bleeding, or a buck get out there grunting, and the different vocalizations the deer make. Yeah, they talk to me. I haven't been able to go turkey hunting in the last couple of years. But oh boy, if you ever heard a turkey out there when they're in the spring when they're mating, it's they're spitting and thumping. Besides the gobbling, the gobble's not the only noise they make. RJ, I am a totally domesticated. I mean, while I was in the Navy, my wife was a stay-at-home mom. And once I retired, she goes, I want, she's tired of being at home. I said, you want to get a job? You go out and get a job. So she got a job. And since I had that spinal surgery back in 2016, I haven't worked. So, well, I went to work for 3 months, and the body just gave out on me. And that was a part-time job. And I picked up another part-time job for 3 days a week at the local gun shop. And I lasted there 4 months. I mean, that was a guy's dream job, working at the gun counter, talking about hunting and guns and shooting all day. The guns that sell themselves. And it's just there to help fill out the paperwork. But then it was like after being on my feet a couple hours, I started dropping stuff, and that's not cool. Especially when, you drop a shotgun that cost about $4,000. And all your coworkers are there at the counter, and they heard it, and the store manager's there, and the owner's there, but they didn't fire me. But when the gun buying season was over, I was just seasonal. I just thanked him, and I said, I would have fired my butt about a month or two ago. But even though I get on here and make all these smart aleck comments on other people's live chats, yeah, you can say that probably is some of my personality, but it's all in fun, and I can take what I can take. If I dish it out, I can take it too. Working's against your religion. Yes, easy fangirl, you missed the first deer that was out, but there'll be more. Oh, Tom, how much? I'm on this is the family farm. I'm here in the northeast corner of it. We have 140 acres here. Well, thank you for the positive input, Tom, on my smartassery. I got to go shoot with Tom and Pops and us and Rick from Measure Six Covered and Scotsman. Well, Scotsman comes down all the time here now. But I got to go shoot with them out in South Carolina. And I was pretty nervous when I got there because I thought they were going to tie me up and drop me off somewhere in the woods. Because that's the kind of junk we pulled around here as I was growing up. But you talk about a bunch of nice guys. All right. Well, for anybody that hasn't seen it, that up there for, okay, right where my finger is, that corner, that the deer I got last year, I was up in a stand there. And through the woods at like this angle, about to there, that's where I shot the buck last year. And that was with the 450 Bushmaster, 185 yards. I had practiced a lot before I even thought about taking that shot. The biggest buck that I ever shot and got was had a deer stand right up there, and I arrowed him with the last minute of day, the legal hunting time, and it fell down and died right there. It's our lower field. That's a creek down there. Huge, big old spring right here. Back when this was on the Northwest Territories, way, way back before the War of 1812, the original homestead, you go through there, where that creek runs up through across the road. There's a monster spring up there. That's where I found that hand axe. And when I say hand axe, it was a flint. It was an Indian artifact, but that's where the original homestead is there, and you can still see the cellar, the root cellar that was underneath the cabin. Back in Prohibition days, they used to have the locals would get together on like Friday or Saturday nights, usually Fridays, and they'd always gather at somebody's barn, and that's where they had bare knuckle fights. That's what they did for entertainment. And when I do that maple syrup, because this is mostly maple trees. We got some oaks in there now, but on the other side of the gas well, about 70 yards inside the woods, is where the sugar shack was, where they made maple syrup. So we still got all these maple trees here, so that's why I'm out making my own maple syrup. Of course, I like boiling some hickory bark in there because, oh my gosh, you talk about good. Let's try to move back out here. Are you near the canyon or near Flag? Oh, you must be talking to somebody else, Tom. Okay, later on, Wes. Oh my goodness, there's 18 people out there now. Well, I'm glad I'm glad you do like those maple syrup ones. I tell you what, I've got to get a stainless steel pan that's about 2 foot deep, that'll hold about, 50 gallons of sap. Because the way I've been doing it is not efficient. I mean, I'm getting syrup, but I'll get about 45 gallons of sap and then start boiling it down. And it takes, the way I was doing it, just in those small pans, it takes about 2 days to boil it down like that. And if you're just doing it by yourself, it sucks, but it tastes good. But if I get myself a nice big old stainless steel tub, I mean, I got free natural gas, and I'll just hook up my lines and burners up to the gas, and I'll cut my cost down to the only thing. Well, cut my cost down to the only thing I have to pay for is the lids for the jars I seal it in, and the gas in my four wheeler that I go around collect the sap. Let's see, grill is 20. Well, I'm going to learn this phone a little bit more because I tell you what, once this corn down here that's in the old hayfield, once that gets big and ripe this winter, you guys are going to see some deer. Because before I always had my deer corn patch down there behind the barn, about an acre of corn we'd leave out every year. And when I first moved in here, I would quit counting the deer after I got to 100. Because they would come in groups of 20 and 30 at a time, different family groups of deer. And from that tree up to this side of the gas well, that's all going to be corn that's going to be left for the deer to eat here in the winter. Well, thank you, Gorillas and Silverback. MCK, hello. Oh man, MCK, you're still running them dirt roads with the old back end fishtailing around the curves. I had that stuff down to a science when I was a kid. And in the wintertime when we had a lot of snow and it was icy and the ditches were full of snow, that's when we really cut loose and we would just bounce off each side of the road because the snow would be in there and be about 5 foot high. It just sucked if you hit it just right and you nosed your car in and then had to have your buddy pull you out. Oh my, a danger ranger? That's a term I haven't heard for a long time. So who's going live tonight? I got a groundhog out on the other side of the barn and I can't shoot it there because it's across the road. So I'm going to have to go sneak around. Come on, I don't want that. I'm trying to, there we go. See that little dark spot in the grass? That's the groundhog I'm talking about. Not the only way I'm going to get that. I'm going to have to walk down that edge, across the road on the other side. All that pine tree there. That is when my grandfather bought the place. That was the first Christmas tree that they had here. That sucker is over 100 foot tall. But okay. And I had to sneak across the road, sneak around the edge of the barn, and get to that corner right there. to get that groundhog. It's right there in the middle. I've done it before. I just haven't done it yet this year. You shoot one, two more move in. Hope you all ain't getting seasick yet. Oh, C103. Hey, good night, man. As soon as you click off, the deer will come out. But we got a good moon tonight, so I don't know if I can focus in on it. Well, trust me, there's a big moon out there. Big old moon. So I'll be able to see deer at night. Keith Gregory, hello. But Tom, are you finally going to move out of Chicago? Yes, I was mooning people there, Val. We're just doing a deer watch. We had one come out earlier. There we go. That one that came out earlier, he's in and out all day long like that. I'm just hoping those other two will come out here before it gets too dark. But I seen one the other day. It went across the road, went in the field behind the barn. It had a good rack on its head. What do you mean? Okay. Oh. Yeah, Tom, that'd probably be a good discussion to have with her right after the 4th of July weekend. Oh. Okay, Val, here, I'll turn the phone sideways. I tried that earlier. You see what it does? It's a new phone. It sucks. $124. How many's? So that would equate to about 800 wounded. I know of a couple people that finally gave up on where they live and they moved. Upside down, Tom? There, it's upside down. That was ugly. There. I did start out with the phone sideways. Well, I tell you, if it's not my shooting ability, it's my video. Midas. Auto rotate. Yeah. Well, with this, the way it is, I don't know, this is the first time I tried a live stream with my phone, and it didn't even give me that option. So it's TubaVision. So Midas, you're out there in Wyoming, right? I know it's Wyoming or Montana, and I keep goofing it up. Yeah, good thing I got my laptop over here, Midas, so I can improve you calling me a jackass. Montana. Is that right? Okay, yeah, Montana. You gotta go out and do some gold prospecting out there while you're there, Midas. Have you done that yet? And Midas, when are you gonna get back on, get a little bit active on the old YouTube thing? Or now that you're in Montana and you're really enjoying life, you're out there living life. Hello, Ghost Rider. Well, Midas, you probably need, any reason to go out there and go camping and get out there and back in the back country is a good reason. Just take your fishing pole with you and a pan. If you don't find any gold, you got a pan you can cook the fish in. These younger deer, right? I mean, they're so used to me up here talking, and they ignore me. It's normally about this time at night when somebody's doing a live chat before it gets too dark. So I start seeing the deer come out, and if I'm looking over to the side, it's because I'm watching the deer and not paying attention to the side chat. Wow, 15 of you out there now. Yeah, I've driven through Montana a couple of times. Beautiful country. Even if there's a blizzard going on, it's still beautiful. I got transferred out there up to Whidbey Island. It was probably about a year or two after I got married. I had to drive from Ohio with a wife that was like 7 months pregnant in a Ford Thunderbird hauling a trailer. And we drove through some big blizzard, and it was like the main highways were getting closed. We found a motel we stayed in. Got up the next day to quit snowing. That motel was snuggled right in between two huge mountains, and the snow was overhanging off of the top, and it was just like you had to really look up to see the top because I mean this place was right between two mountains. It was beautiful, but it scared the crap out of me that we were going to get caught in an avalanche. Fuzzy, there's more Bigfoots around your house than there is in Montana. Blue Healer, how are you doing? We're just hanging out waiting for some deer to come out. Had one out earlier. Come on, deer. This is a pretty good tree stand right here. It's close to the coffee pot. Thing I'm worried about is this fall that maybe some of the youngsters or whatever here will get a little bit greedy and try shooting, getting their deer from the porch when they see a big one come out. You're going to hunt, get in the woods, enjoy it. No, I've never been stationed in Norfolk. I'm not I'm not I'm not into self-torture and all that. I think the only time I was stationed on the East Coast, I I was on the Navy side over there at Andrews Air Force Base, and that was we did that just to be able to drive home on weekends so the grandparents could see the kids. I tell you what, that was the worst decision that I ever made is going to Andrews. West Coast was so much more relaxed, at least when I was there. I don't know. The only I've been to the UK, but I was on the aviation side. So out of 20 years, my actual time on board ship, like aircraft carrier, is around 11 months and 15 days. I tended to pick when I got to my did my sea duty, I did expeditionary. Should have them coming out quick now, unless I've been talking too loud. Expeditionary. The Air Force decided to decommission their electronics warfare birds before they got a replacement for them. So the Navy, we had to fill in that position. I tell you, those were the hardest workups I've ever had in my life. Before we deployed and stuff like that, or between deployments, every other month we would go to Las Vegas for 2 weeks at a time, and we stayed right on the strip in the hotels. Rough duty. Oh, and when we went out, we only spent 3 months out in the sandbox. Then we'd rotate back for about 6 months, and we go back out there again. Hey, good night, Tom. Well, I'll see you online. Have a good Independence Day. I was on the first carrier. I was on the Ranger. Now, I was on the Ranger a couple times. That was great. I did a SEOP det on Carl Vinson, and I got on the Carl Vinson at one of the worst times to go aboard ship. That was when the Navy decommissioned all those P3 outfits. So you had a lot of disgruntled sailors that ended up getting orders they didn't want to a ship from and they left a P3 command. But I went out on the Enterprise for a couple weeks for workups, doing stuff like that. Oh, John F. Kennedy. Yeah. When I was in, that was one of the newer ships. Keith, I got deer in a can and in a freezer. I'm surprised this phone is still showing this much light because it is getting dark out here. I know. As soon as I shut down, the deer will come out. Okay, Val, who's going live tonight? Because I'm going to shut this down here in a few minutes. I'm about to lose all my light. Good night, Keith. You have a good one. Okay, let's see. RG, I'm not going to say nothing about jumping out of perfectly good airplanes because I was an aviation survival equipment guy, basically also known as a parachute rigger. And I didn't jump out of airplanes. I jumped out of helicopters. Yeah, parachuting out of helicopters. Nice. My third tour, they offered me to go down to the test facilities for orders to test jump parachutes. But that was after I broke my back. So I turned those orders down. I wanted those orders really so bad my first and second tour, but I didn't get them then. Oh, trust me, Silverback, it's getting dark here. It's just this phone is picking up so much light in this position. My longest shooting range, from the edge right there to that top of the field, is 675 yards. I'm not going to say that I've shot a gun that far, but I know exactly how far that is. But I do have a spot that's right here where I've got my permaculture garden, and there's an old power line that they're taking the last line out where that pole is. They're taking that pole out, and there's a power line that goes right up through there. I have a 300-yard shot there. And as soon as they get that last line out, I'm going to be setting some steel back in there. My beagle's here at the door. She wants out. Yeah, but definitely must be time for the deer to come out because the dog's going to bark at them. Come on, Maggie. How you like that? My door's not squeaking tonight. All right, folks. Well, I want to thank y'all for just dropping by, spending some time. I'm sorry we only had one little deer out tonight. But I tell you what, this winter, that field right there is going to be loaded with deer. Yes, Blue Heeler, it's all oiled up. All right, folks. Good night. I'll see you around. If anybody gets on a live, starts up a live chat tonight, I'll see you on the side chat. I'm out of here. Now, how do I turn this silly thing off and get off of it? You got to push live or push die. What do you do? Share, no. Enable flash, mute microphone. I've got instructions here, but it's not telling me how to turn off the live chat. I'm just going to hit this X in the top right. Stop streaming. Yep, that was it. Okay. Hey, good night, everybody. Thanks.